Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Roster Talk. Today, I'm joined by Ben Lee, in-game leader of Past Your Astronauts. Currently, top 40 on HLTV. It's got to be feeling pretty good right now, you'd have to say.
Yeah, feels really good.
All right, so we're looking at the present day here, but I think we need to go back even further. And one thing that I remember was that you were kind of a part of the High Coast lineup right towards the end.
Yeah.
But then that lineup didn't become Party Astronauts. You're playing with RCF, you're playing with Boo, you're playing with MOTM. Why did that lineup not continue over to Party Astronauts?
Yeah, that lineup, honestly, it was mainly because of the organization itself. Like, they didn't really support us when we came to an agreement. Like a month after we signed our contracts, they were like, "Yeah, we can't like pay you guys." So we were just like trying to ride it out until like they'd actually pay us, but ended up like never paying us. So after we lost, I think in Premier Playoffs, like RCF, he's a Brazilian player, like he needs to make money. So he was like, "Yo, I need to make money or I'm just gonna like I can't play like in the US. I have to go back to Brazil." So that was like a key part in like everybody else leaving. Booby, I'm pretty sure he just wanted like new opportunity in Valorant. He saw like probably an opportunity there where he could get picked up, or if he just plays for a little bit, he'll get picked up by a team. And then Ian or MOTM, he just didn't want to play. I think he just wanted to take a little break, I think, or just play with new people. But yeah, we just all like ended up parting ways, and me and Pwn, we still wanted to play Counter-Strike, so we were just started messaging people, and we ended up just forming Party Astronaut shortly after that.
Okay, because that's now where it kind of comes into the conversation of bringing people in, like you mentioned. So you
Yep,
had you and Pone, and then obviously Joe the coach as well, and then
yep,
DJ and Infinite joined, and then Viz,
yep,
all within like a few days, really, of the
yeah.
lineup coming through. So was this an easy decision to pick up the three guys?
I wanted to play with Infinite for like ever since we played in our last team. I think it was on Chaos, but I just knew he was way better than anybody else we could pick up. And DJ, we played with him before, and he had some issues, but we ended up like talking it out, and we fixed them, and we were like, "Yo, let's go at it again. Like we can be sick." And then Viz, he was at the time, he was like unproven to me. Like he was like a talent that I knew was in the scene, but I didn't know like how good he could be. So he was like somebody that we brought in trying to like develop him to be like a better player than he is.
Because
And
I
I
would.
think it was like really good for him and good for us
Hmm,
too to have him on the team because he's like kind of like he does like whatever we need for him plus more, like if that makes sense. Like
okay.
yeah,
Because he's
he's just
obviously
a
the
very good
youngest guy,
player. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he's a lot younger than some of the other guys, and I would have imagined when he was on Triumph before coming over,
Yeah,
you would have played him a fair amount. Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
did you play against him a lot?
Yeah, I played against him, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, and he
Okay.
was one of the people where it was like, okay, like he's kind of good, like I can't lie, like
Hmm.
he can shoot back, like he's not making like stupid decisions.
All right. Well, that's maybe the start of Party Astronauts, and that's probably
Yeah,
about April-ish, 2021. It was quite a
yeah,
few months before any sort of changes came through. Viz stepping down.
yeah,
We obviously know that he's come back to the lineup, but tell me
yeah.
about this portion of time.
During that time, I don't know how personal I can get, but he had health issues within his family, and
Okay.
our team at the time, I'm pretty sure we were trying to play like way more, and he was trying to like take a little bit of a break because he had issues he had to deal with like in real life, like he can't be on the computer that much, at least to my knowledge. And we just had to like part ways just for like both parties. And I mean, it was unfortunate because we all liked Wes, and as soon as he left our team, we just saw like how much he had an impact like on our team and in our team. So yeah,
Yeah, sounds like a big loss to the
yeah,
team. To be fair, I mean, a week later, picking up Cynic and keeping the lineup going until about the end of the year. So quite a few months that you kept the core five
yeah,
together after Viz stepped down. So tell me about that portion with results and how the team was panning out towards the end of the year.
yeah. Well, we won. E was it MDL at the time? We qualified for Pro League. We won Premier, and we beat Extra Salt, and like it felt like we were like meshing well, but then like a little bit after that, it felt like there was just some like internal things going on, like we weren't seeing the game eye to eye, and we weren't just like meshing well together as teammates, you know? Like we didn't have that like brotherly love, like a couple of us on the team, and it just kept just snowballing after that, and just people are bottling stuff up, and it's hard to fix mistakes and just like change the way like we view the game. And yeah,
Ah, okay. So it sounds like maybe towards the end of the year, even though there was some highlights with the results, there maybe wasn't
yeah,
highlights of how the team was operating as a
yeah,
whole.
it wasn't all sunshine and butterflies for sure. There was
Yeah.
definitely like a lot of like long nights where we had discussions,
Hmm.
like, but yeah, I would
Okay.
say during that era too, it was a lot of like people like, I don't want to say not sticking to their word, but we were talking the talk and not walking the walk. I'll say that for sure.
All right. Well, then maybe fresh start come this year, I would have to
Yeah.
say.
Yep.
Infinite leaving Party Astronauts. He kind of spoke about him. You played with him for about 7 months or so, nearly
Yeah.
200 maps on HLTV. It's a significant portion of time. So was that a tough loss, losing Infinite to join the August team?
Oh yeah, it definitely was. And he was like he was our big like firepower guy. Like he'd always like get multi frags. He was playing anchor spots, and he's just a really good anchor. I think he's a really good player. And he just decided like not that he didn't have faith in us, but he just wanted to go a different way. He probably just didn't think we had like the fire in us still to
Hmm.
like keep grinding or keep improving. But and I mean I don't blame him, but I think it was weird that we had like a EPL spot. Like I mean both these players like Cynic and Infinite, like they leave when we have a chance to go to Europe and gain a whole bunch of experience, and none of us have been to Europe, me, Pwn, or DJ. And after going to Europe and coming back, it's just like the game is just it's just way bigger than it actually is. Like I thought it was like this in NA, and it's like literally the size of my room in Europe. Like there's just a lot of little things. That's literally what it is in Europe compared to NA, and EU teams just capitalize on mistakes and they snowball with it. And then NA, you can just get ecoed and just try to force and just eco them back. And they like won't have like a strong setup or like know how to react off what we're doing, and we can just like punish them easily.
Hmm. Well, even though it feels like you're losing a big piece of Infinite, you did actually pick up some experience. Jonji
Yeah.
sort of coming in as a standard role. Now, you'd never played with him before, as far as
No.
I'm aware.
Mm-mm.
So, what was that like? Where, at least from what I remember, the core's been together for a really long time. You've been playing with some of the teammates for
Yeah.
years, and then all of a sudden you pick up a guy. He might be experienced in the scene, but you've never played with him before. So, what was the
Yeah. Yeah.
decision there?
Uh, Yeah, and to go back, like our roles before, we had Cynic and Infinite, and I would say that they're both like pretty heavy lurkers, and we have DJ, so it was kind of like me doing all the entry roles, and we wanted to change that up. So like the first person that came to our mind was we need an entry, Jonji. Like he's going to Valorant. He messaged us like 2 weeks probably before Infinite left, and he was like, "Yo, I might be trying to come back," and we were like, "Okay, like we might think about it, but we're gonna think about like roster changes after EPL, and then all like the roster stuff happened, and then we picked him up. We thought the roles would fit perfect, and after talking to him and playing with him for a bit, it's like me and him kind of see the game like eye to eye, and we're like pretty loose about it. We know the game isn't like it can't be played like perfect all 2 minutes of the round, 30 rounds in. So you just gotta do with what you like got in the round. And I think he's a really good player. And just his entry style, it's been hard to adapt to, or not hard to adapt to. It's been fun to adapt to, and it's just very chaotic. But yeah, I think he was like a really good pickup and somebody that we really needed in the team because he's like a really big voice in the team too. Like he isn't just gonna sit back and just like wait to be told what to do. He's like, I'm taking top B control on Inferno. We're mollying, flashing. Like I'm going off the second flash. Okay, we can go back take arch control, and NB. Like he's a player like that, and it's somebody that you really need in a team, and he's really crucial for sure.
Yeah, got to be quite helpful for an in-game leader having
Yeah,
that second
yeah,
voice.
definitely, definitely.
Now, by the sounds of it, it feels like maybe a bit of role overlap. Got into a position where changes are being made. Another month goes and there's another change in the roster.
Yeah.
Cynic
hmm
steps down, Viz comes back in. So in this whole sort of grand scale of things, is it just like, geez, every time we feel as if we're going forward, there's another change, or is it okay? Now it's actually been 2 months since we've made a change, and we've actually got sort of the goods to continue going forward and getting better results.
I would say it's kind of the thing. I would say when Cynic first left, it was definitely like, man, can we catch a break? Like, I just want five people to just like have the same mindset and just want to improve together and not do like petty stuff to each other. But yeah, it's definitely like I'm glad, not glad that he left, but getting Wes in our team, it feels like now we're actually like a team and we have like actual like team cohesion. We like treat each other like family and we just try to get along with each other all the time, like in and out of the game. And it's just been way better, way like healthier, I would say, like mentally to play the game. And it's just like motivating to have the teammates that I have on my team for sure.
And with Viz coming back a second time, is he getting all the same roles that he had before, or is there some slight interchange?
I honestly can't remember. I think he is kind of on the same roles for
Okay.
the most part. I know there's like a couple maps where he is in a completely different role. I'll say that. Yeah.
Hmm. All right.
But he isn't like shy. He actually like wants to learn for sure, like different roles. Like he's down to do anything and that's why like I like him so much because he's down to do literally whatever and he'll do whatever and he'll also like give his opinion on if he thinks it's good or bad or yeah. He gives
Okay.
it like input in the rounds, which I
Hmm.
like a lot.
Well, we've got to a stage now where we've got through all the roster changes. We've talked
Yeah.
about some of the pieces on the lineup. One person we haven't spoken about is in real depth is PwnAlone. Like 3 years playing together,
Yeah. Yeah,
something
yeah.
600 odd maps as a duo. So main AWPer on the team. It's got to be feeling great playing with another player for this kind of time period.
Yeah, I mean, me and Josh, we've been playing forever. Like he's like a brother to me. So I mean, we kind of like know how each other are gonna play. Like we always do this thing where I'll call something and he's like, "Man, I was about to call that." Like that happens a lot. Like he was like, "Man, I was gonna call to go for that pick," and I was like, "I don't know what to say. Great minds think alike. That's for sure." But yeah, he's insane. He's probably one of the best players I've played with. Honestly, like individual, just like raw skill. Like even with the op, without the op, he's good with the rifle. He's good with the pistol. He's got the Mag 7. We can't forget about that. But his pistols and rifles are heavily underrated.
Okay. And even for DJ, this was a guy that you played with
Yeah.
on New England Whalers, you played on High Coast, and now coming over here to Party Astronauts. And he's a bit of an older guy as well. So give me a
Yeah.
bit of a vibe of what he sort of brings to the team.
I think he's kind of like he's like Jackson Nico, I would say combined. Like he gives the good vibes, and he's also just like he has such good aim. Like he has good positioning. He's always trying to like make a setup with the teammate, call reactions. He's a good teammate. He's more of our lurk, so he's on like the other side of the map when we're doing like 4-1, or he's just like not with the pack. Most of the time, so he tries to give like good input on what the other team's doing. Like, say, if we're playing nuke and we're trying to go lower and he's like the lobby guy, he's like they aren't pushing us lobby like at all. So that just like allows me to make like an easy decision to be like, okay, we send one guy secret and then we just go for a ramp, or we can fake upper and then go ramp. Just things like that in the game that are small that just makes my life as a in-game leader easier.
So we've spoken about all the pieces when it comes to the actual playing roster. One person we
hmm
haven't spoken about is the coach, Muenster.
Yeah,
He's been with you guys for quite
yeah,
a
yeah,
while as well.
for sure.
So try and give me a bit of a vibe in that sense. Because obviously, with you guys being August, does he help out in managerial roles as well as
Yeah,
coaching?
yes, he does basically everything you see Party Astronauts, that's him. Like, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. That's him for the most part. We, as players, we're just trying to just play the game. practice, not worry about all that stuff. But he does a lot of things definitely for the org. We got signed by an agency, so that relieved a lot of pressure off him. And but before then, he was doing everything, contacting all the orgs, just everything like scheduling. He he does everything for us basically, but uh in the game, I would say he tries to help us like cool down or like find our footing. He tries to call good tack pauses, which I think we've been doing like way better. We've actually been like using our pauses throughout the round, and he's a big like impact of that. And he like made me realize like I need to be using my pauses like better in better scenarios and just in general. Um, for matches, he definitely preps well, and me and him try to do that together, at least for the most part. And our notes, we kind of like have the same mind too, how we like to like have our notes for teams. Like we try to find out like their tendencies, what their goal is in the round, what their opper's doing, uh, just their endings, and yeah, it's been a pleasure to play with all these guys for sure, especially for all this time. And we've been grinding for so long, especially me, Joe, and Josh. We've been playing together for a while, so it's a it's a fun time for sure.
It definitely has that family feel behind
Yeah,
it, that everyone's
yeah.
really, really keen. So, I guess to sort of wrap it up, what are some of the goals for the team? Is it a certain HLTV world ranking? Is it, trying to have another crack at getting to the major? Is it being the top of NA? What are some of the limelights of what they're going to be for the next few months?
I would say our goals is definitely so we have ECL. We definitely want to make it to the conference. I would say just making as many like tier one events as we can, like IEM Dallas. If we could make that, that'd be good. And we have the close qualifier. I think it's literally tomorrow. I think just making as many tournaments as possible. Of course, making the major, that'd be insane if we could make the major. We were so close this last time, and I think that experience will just help us qualify for these events in general. But yeah, I'd say getting top 30 consistently, ESL and HLTV, and just qualify for as many events as we can. Just keep playing. You
Yeah,
can only
right
get
mindset.
better as much as you keep playing. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and maybe to help you reach all of those goals, an organisation. Any message to the fans out there? Any org owners? Here's your time.
I mean, I'm just gonna say we're playing as much as, if not the same as these pro teams and putting in time. We care about the game. We care about like sticking together. So if any orgs out there, you're looking for somebody, come to us. Call our name. Come on now.
There we have it. Ben, thanks
Yeah.
so much for coming on, mate, and
Yeah, thank you, man.
best of
Thank you. It
luck for
was
the next
fun.
few months.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.